Look at the composition of the world's wealthiest people. 75% are entrepreneurs, 15% are investors, 7% inherited their wealth, and 3% are athletes or entertainers. 0% are employees who rely strictly on a salaried paycheck. The common thread between these groups is ownership. They own businesses, assets, trusts, or rare skills. Without ownership, an individual effectively becomes the asset being owned and utilized by someone else's business. Most people live within a cycle designed to keep them working. A paycheck arrives, providing a brief moment of liquidity, before it is immediately consumed by the costs of food, shelter, and water. This creates a loop where you must work the following month just to maintain the same baseline. Breaking this cycle requires a mechanical redistribution of every dollar you earn. I used this specific 25-15-50-10 architecture to build a multi-million-dollar net worth after starting with no qualifications and no money. Higher wages rarely solve a lack of wealth. Lasting financial independence requires replacing default spending habits with a system that automates ownership. The first 25% of your income feeds your growth engine. This capital is reserved strictly for buying assets, things that increase in value over time and put money back into your pocket while you sleep. To see the impact of time, compare two paths. Billy starts investing $200 a month at 20 years old. Phil waits until he is 30 and attempts to catch up by investing $300 a month. By age 60, Billy has contributed $12,000 less out of his own pocket than Phil, yet his final balance exceeds $1.2 million, which dwarfs Phil's total by nearly $600,000. That is the mathematical result of starting 10 years earlier. For most people, the safest starting point is an index fund, like the S&P 500. This allows you to own a slice of the entire market, growing quietly in the background, rather than gambling on the volatility of individual stocks or alternative assets like crypto. It is also vital to shield this growth from the government. Using tax-advantaged accounts, like an ISA in the UK or a Roth IRA in the US, ensures that your capital gains compound without being eroded by annual taxes. These accounts can be incredibly powerful. Peter Thiel famously used his Roth IRA to invest in early-stage shares of companies like PayPal and Facebook, reportedly growing his account into a tax-free fortune worth over $5 billion. To ensure this happens, you must automate the process. Set up a transfer that moves this 25% into your investment platform the moment your paycheck lands, so the money is utilized before you have the chance to see it in your spending account. Wealth is built through the automated consistency of feeding this engine every month, regardless of market conditions. Even the strongest growth engine needs protection. The next 15% of your income builds your stability fund, a layer of financial armor that keeps you in the game during a crisis. Early in my career, I bought a car on credit with no backup savings. When the engine failed, I had to borrow even more money just to keep my job, triggering a debt spiral that erased a year of my financial progress. You calculate the size of this armor by identifying your bare-bones monthly survival expenses. Multiply that baseline by 5 to reach your total stability fund target. This cash stays in a high-yield savings account, where it remains liquid and earns interest without exposure to market risk. It must be accessible within 24 hours to handle emergencies as they happen. This cash functions as a buffer, ensuring you never have to liquidate your long-term investments at a loss just to cover an unexpected bill. High earners are not immune to going broke. Over 60% of people making six figures still live paycheck to paycheck, because they allow their lifestyle to expand as quickly as their salary. This often leads to a contrast between the appearance of wealth and actual net worth. Many people carry heavy debt for designer brands and luxury cars, while the truly wealthy prioritize used vehicles and simple clothing to maximize their investments. You must cap your essentials at 50% of your income. This includes housing, groceries, and utilities, but excludes takeout, subscriptions, and any item that doesn't help you live, work, or stay healthy. To stay under this cap, focus on the two largest expenses. Negotiating your rent or moving to a more affordable area can save thousands, as can choosing a reliable used car over a monthly lease on a depreciating liability. Use a mechanical rule to handle impulse buys. Wait 7 days before any non-essential purchase. If you still want it, check if you're buying for the brand or the actual utility. Only move forward if it is a conscious, intentional purchase that provides genuine value. Maintaining this 50% limit forces a shift in focus. Instead of looking for ways to spend more of your current paycheck, you begin looking for ways to increase your total income. The final 10% acts as the coolant for your financial machine. Extreme discipline without an outlet eventually leads to burnout and the type of emotional spending bents that derail long-term goals. I learned this the hard way by over-optimizing for growth. I spent years focused only on business and investing, which eventually led to stress-induced shingles and a period of total physical burnout. To prevent this, you allocate 10% of every paycheck to a separate account. This is a joy jar dedicated to spending without any associated guilt or impact on your other goals. Prioritize experiences that build memories, such as vacations, concerts, or hobbies. These provide a much higher emotional return on investment than physical items that quickly become clutter. Mandatory rewards act as a release valve, making the 10-year wealth-building process sustainable and enjoyable. Once the system is active, your income is automatically routed into these 4 streams. Your growth engine, your stability armor, your essentials, and your rewards all work together without requiring daily willpower. Long-term freedom relies on the mechanical management of cash flow, regardless of the current size of your paycheck. Calculate your percentages right now. Open your growth and stability accounts and set up your first automatic transfer today.